the shed to cart the car into town. I'm going to put all the panels on it, bring it into the shed in town, that way I can just roll it across the road onto the booth on the weekends, because I'm only allowed to use the booth on the weekends. And yeah, spray underneath the bonnet and inside the doors, inside the hatch and whatnot. Then do the big job of spraying the outside. So this is where it's been for the last 9 months, where I've teared it all down and done all the work so far on it, but this space is getting awfully limited. So I'm yeah, gonna pull it out again. I'll show you inside. So here we are. Here's me, little companion, follows me everywhere, annoys the shit out of me. So here you'll see how crammed it is inside here, with the little booth that I made just to do the primer and all that. And I was gonna try and do a couple of the top coat bits in here, but it's too dusty. So it's just a little hallway you get to walk down here, squashed in with the booth. There's my filter. And there's the booth covering up one side of the shed. There's the car. It is getting awfully squashy, and it's driving me insane, quite frankly. I'll show you the engine bay quickly. So the bay's been done quite some time ago. I'm probably going to flow coat it again, I don't know. I'm not exactly 100% happy with it, but it is an engine bay, so it's probably going to cop a few spanners and whatnot when the engine goes in, so we'll see what happens there. Here's the booth around the corner. Just open up this door so we get a bit of lightning. So there's all the parts. Marathon, absolute marathon. So I got this panel beater. Probably shouldn't go to a panel beater. He's more than that, that's for sure. He doesn't just swipe bog on and sand it flat again. He fixed up the side. I don't know if you saw my Instagram or not, but if you did, you would have seen that this side was all caved in, you know, like that far. Just, it's like he just slid into a pile of rocks or something. I don't know what he did. Anyway, had the spat just over here, and you couldn't tell. And then I pulled the spat off, and it just all crumpled in my hand. So he straightened up all this. There's a tiny little hole there, which will be fine. He said he's going to fix it for me. The rest of it will just fill with a bit of spray-on polyester over the epoxy in the next couple of weeks. The other side had a big rust hole in it, which is pretty classic for the Supras. So all underneath here, there's another piece. So all underneath here, he redid all that. So he's made all these panels, which is pretty phenomenal. And in here, he made all that. Pretty amazing job, really. So the plan today is to put all these panels on the car, and just sitting here and put on the trailer, towed into town. So here we are. Fortunately my time lapse stopped for some reason. Anyway, here she is. The bonnet was an absolute mission to put on. She didn't help. Just gotta wait for me mate to turn up so I can put the hatch on, because it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And I'll push on the trailer. Yesterday we loaded it on the trailer and stuck it under this cover. We started having a few beers, so the camera went away and didn't come back. But I got to get that cover in the back of the ute, that booth, and drag it into town so I can put this in the cover. So it's going to be an absolute mission. Got to pull that down, put it in the back of my ute out there, tow the whole lot into town, and then set it back up again so that no one runs into it in the shed in town. Fun. So this is taking longer than I thought. I got to take all these walls down. So all these they call this tarp type stuff. And there was all these lights that I'd wired up so that I could see whilst I was painting. But yeah, it's a lot to handle on your own when you're trying to pull all these down and not get lost in it all. But anyway, better keep going. Man, it is hot today. So the bulk of it's packed up. Hey Ollie, you finished? Hot? Now we just got to drive into town. Finally on the move. It is hot as hell today, but we're on the move. We're going into town and set it up in there so we can roll it across the road to the booth and get this thing painted. It'll be exciting. Here it is in its little protection box. I set this up just so no one runs into it. Originally it was for the overspray for the rest of the shed, but now it's to protect the car from the rest of the shed, or the people in it anyway for that matter. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be sanding it. Saturday I will be spraying epoxy on, maybe some top coat on a few areas hopefully. Follow Jza80 for updates.